Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everybody's doing well. In today's video, I want to talk about the huge fight taking place this weekend over there in the UK between Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk. It's finally fight week for this big fight. It feels like it's taken forever to come around, but it's finally fight week, so we're almost there. I'm definitely looking forward to this fight. Now, I did a prediction video on this fight when it first got announced, which feels like it was ages ago. I think it was about 3-4 months ago. But now that it's fight week, I'm going to be doing my final prediction and breakdown for this fight. And let's go ahead and get into it then. Usyk, in my opinion, he has the advantage in terms of hand speed and foot speed. I do believe he has some of the best legs in boxing. Anthony Joshua, in my opinion, and which is fact, and I said this in the previous breakdown I did in this fight, he has most of the physical advantages going into this fight. He has the height, the size, the reach, the power advantages, and then Usyk, in my opinion, has the speed and skills advantage going into this fight, as well as like I say, the footwork advantage as well. So I think that's going to play an important role in this fight, because in my opinion, Usyk's style is all wrong for Anthony Joshua, and in my opinion, Anthony Joshua's style is kind of suited towards what Usyk wants to do, because in my opinion, the style of fighter that gives Usyk more trouble is that Joe Frazier type fighter, which Derek Chisora is a poor man's Joe Frazier, and we saw his performance against Usyk. He put up a solid performance against Usyk. In my opinion, Usyk still took him to school and won that fight, comfortably, in my opinion. And Chisora is no easy night for anybody in the heavyweight division, because that style is just not an easy style to look good against. You saw Joseph Parker struggle a lot more with Derek Chisora. He even got dropped in that fight. Now, I also thought Parker won that fight, whereas there were a lot of people saying Chisora won. They're doing the rematch for that fight as well. I'll do a prediction video on that fight at some point. But in my opinion, the style of fighter that gives Usyk trouble is that come forward pressure fighter that, he's not interested in trying to have a chess match with you, or, trying to box with you in the pocket. And he's not a technical fighter. He's just, he's going to roughshod you. He's going to bulldog forwards. He's hyper aggressive. He's got an extremely high punch output. And, he's very rough in there. He's doing a lot of things that, could be considered illegal. A lot of punching behind the head from Derek Chisora in that fight. A lot of shots on the belt line and on the on the hips, and straying even low blows. So that's a hard style to look good against. Whereas Anthony Joshua, in my opinion, that's not obviously what he likes to do. He's a cautious, he's a thinking man's fighter. He has got an improving boxing IQ. Like I said, he's good, definitely good technically and fundamentally. His skills are improving since we saw him get stopped by Andy Ruiz. Since then, he shed a bunch of weight. He's looking light on his feet. So in my opinion, his footwork and his legs have improved a bit. He's not as flat-footed and stiff as he used to be. Still a little bit stiff, not the most natural of boxers. A little bit robotic, but good fundamentals and a pretty good boxing IQ. Sets a lot of traps in there for his opponents. I think in this fight, what you're going to see from Anthony Joshua is he's going to be trying to time Usyk's jab, I think, because Usyk's going to probably try and jab his way in. And I think Anthony Joshua is going to look to try and time his jab and catch him with either that straight right hand or the uppercut when Usyk gets up close. So Anthony Joshua got a good boxing IQ, but in my opinion, Usyk's got the superior boxing IQ and skills, just simply due to the fact that Usyk's always been a boxer first. He's always had to rely on being extremely technical and, using his boxing IQ and stuff to get him over the line. Whereas Anthony Joshua, in my opinion, for most of his short amateur career and, majority of his pro career, he was kind of getting away with just being able to knock guys out and using his physical advantages, having the size and reach and speed advantage as well, and power advantage over his opponents. So he was knocking them out fairly quickly. I mean, up until he started defending his belts that he got, his belt that he got off Charles Martin. I don't think he had been past 5 rounds, and even the Charles Martin fight, he knocked Charles Martin out extremely early in that fight, so he hadn't really been forced to develop his, his boxing skills and IQ as much as Oleksandr Usyk had been forced to. So I think now they're both Olympic gold medalists. So I'm not trying to say Anthony Joshua is not, got a good boxing IQ. He obviously does, but I think Usyk has the edge in that. And I think the fact that Anthony Joshua's more of a cautious type of fighter that's trying to set things up, and he's also, playing chess in the suits Oleksandr Usyk, in my opinion. And as well as Anthony Joshua not being the type of fighter that fights at a high pace. He fights at a pretty slow pace. I think that suits Usyk. He's going to be able to, in my opinion, push the pace in this fight and maybe tire Anthony Joshua out, for the late rounds, but we'll see about that. I think Anthony Joshua is going to have to try and establish his height and reach and size advantage by really trying to use his jab and trying to make Usyk pay when Usyk comes in, like I say, using that sharp counter straight right hand that we saw he used against Charles Martin when Charles Martin tried to jab his way in. I think Anthony Joshua is going to look to do that in this fight. I don't think it's going to be as easy because Usyk, obviously, he's going to use a lot of feints. I think it's going to be extremely important for Usyk in this fight. There are going to be a lot of, hand feints as well as foot feints, head feints as well. A lot of lateral movement, trying to, come in off of an angle, not come in on straight lines, because otherwise, he could get caught and knocked out. Like I said, this is going to be a very high-level chess match, in my opinion. One mistake in this fight and it could all be over. Both guys carry power. Anthony Joshua more so, but Usyk definitely, in my opinion, has the power to hurt Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has not got, a granite chin. I'm not trying to say he's chinny. I don't think he is chinny, but we've obviously seen him down, multiple times in his pro career. Now, I don't think he's chinny, but we've seen him down, so I do think it's a possibility that Usyk could hurt him and stop him in this fight. Obviously, I think, in my opinion, I think the fight's going to go late, because I haven't seen Joshua knock too many guys out early since stepping up in levels. And Usyk is a slow starter as well. But I think he has to be careful, Usyk, in this fight, not to start too slowly and make the same mistake his buddy Lomachenko made against Teofimo Lopez of giving away the first 5 or 6 rounds. Especially when you're fighting a guy like Anthony Joshua, who's the cash cow in the UK for Eddie Hearn on a UK Eddie Hearn show. You don't want to make the mistake of giving away too many early rounds, because when you step into the ring against Anthony Joshua, reality is you're starting a couple of rounds down. You're already a couple of rounds behind the moment you step in or sign the contract to fight Anthony Joshua. So you can't make the same mistake Lomachenko made, giving away too many rounds, because now then you're forcing yourself to have to go for the stoppage, which is not what Usyk is good at doing. Usyk's good at boxing, and if the knockout presents itself, he'll take it. But if it doesn't present itself, he'll just be happy to keep boxing away like he did against Derek Chisora to a unanimous decision. Now, in my opinion, like I say, it's going to be a cagey, slow start. I think it's going to be very cagey early. Both fighters like to come out, collect a bit of data, and then make adjustments, especially Usyk. But like I said, Joshua is also a thinking man's fighter and very cautious. Doesn't want to take too many risks, unnecessary risks, especially since, he got stopped by Andy Ruiz when he took a risk. After hurting Andy Ruiz, he started to exchange with Ruiz. He got caught and couldn't recover. So especially since then, I think Joshua, he's taking more of a Klitschko approach, where he's really just trying to control the fight and box safety first, which is smart in my opinion. But like I say, in this fight, I think that suits Usyk. Like I say, I think a Joe Frazier, Chisora style kind of is Usyk's sort of kryptonite. Maybe not kryptonite, but the style that gives him his toughest matchup. He has got very good legs, so I'm not saying that it is his kryptonite, because with his movement, he can negate that pressure. But you saw how Loma struggled early in his career with Orlando Salido, who's a guy that just as well comes in head down, head butting, low blowing, a lot of pressure, a lot of fouls. And that style can, give a boxer, trouble. So, however, that is not Anthony Joshua's style. So Usyk doesn't have to really worry about that too much. So in my opinion, Usyk's going to win the battle of the lead foot, which is extremely important in the southpaw versus orthodox matchup. I think Usyk's going to have the lead foot dominance in this fight, allowing him to get that left hand down the pipe on Anthony Joshua and kind of take away Joshua's right hand a little bit. That's how I see that playing out. And then I think Usyk should almost use a bit of a Manny Pacquiao type of style, because he's going to be the shorter man in there. So I think he's going to have to get in and out, almost like a drive-by shooting, which I said in my previous video. He's going to have to, come in with his straight left hand once he wins that lead foot battle, jab his way in, feints, jabs, left hand down the pipe, then get on his bike again, use the lateral movement to kind of frustrate Anthony Joshua a little bit, like Erislandy Lara did to Canelo Alvarez. In my opinion, guys with really good legs give Anthony Joshua and Canelo Alvarez a lot of problems, because they got to set their feet, and you let them set their feet and punch, they're extremely powerful. But if you keep them off balance and you keep moving and coming in off angles, using your jab and your straights down the pipe, you can really frustrate these types of guys. Obviously, it's never a bad thing to be compared to Canelo, but in my opinion, Joshua and Canelo both struggle to track guys down with really good legs, and I think we might see that in this fight with the foot speed advantage Usyk has over Anthony Joshua. So, in my opinion, I'm leaning towards Oleksandr Usyk to win this fight. I think he can stop Anthony Joshua late, or he could win the decision. I'm actually not sure which it's going to be, so I'm just going to say I'm picking Usyk to win the fight. In my opinion, it's not an easy fight for either man. I know in my previous prediction video I was picking Usyk as well, so nothing has really changed. I've seen Joshua's making changes. He's going to be coming in apparently maybe at a career lightest, or a lightest in quite a number of years. He was losing weight since he lost to Andy Ruiz, so he's making changes, obviously knowing that he's going to be at a speed disadvantage in this fight against Oleksandr Usyk. So Anthony Joshua is obviously realizing that this fight is a real threat, whereas a lot of guys in my comments on the previous prediction video I did on this fight were just kind of writing Oleksandr Usyk off, saying I was biased, and kind of writing Oleksandr Usyk off just simply because they were saying he's too small, he's a cruiserweight, Anthony Joshua's too big. Now, in my opinion, you can't just write him off because he's too small, because he's bigger than, like I said in the comments when I replied to those guys, he's bigger than a lot of previous heavyweight champs, and he wasn't a small cruiserweight. He was, in my opinion, a pretty big cruiserweight. He's about 6'3", 6'4", which is, I know now we've got a lot of giants in the heavyweight division at about 6'6", 7 and up, but in my opinion, 6'4" is not a small heavyweight even in today's era. I think that's a good size heavyweight, especially because he's a lot more athletic than a lot of these big guys, and he has a speed advantage, and he can push the pace on them. He's a lot more coordinated than a lot of these big guys, like he is than Anthony Joshua. So I think also with Joshua coming in lighter, what is going to be the size and weight advantage that Joshua has over Usyk? Maybe 15 pounds in weight? That seems to be what I'm guessing is going to be the advantage, the weight advantage he has, which is really not that big of a weight advantage in the heavyweight division. So he's not that small of a heavyweight, and you're talking about a guy that unified the cruiserweight division, undisputed cruiserweight champ, and he did it in a very short space of time, and at a time where the cruiserweight division was pretty stacked, in my opinion. I saw some people saying that there were nobody in the cruiserweight division, but he's beaten guys like Gassiev, Marius Briedis, and if they come into the heavyweight division, which I believe they are, I think they're going to have quite a significant impact in the heavyweight division. So, in my opinion, Usyk is very live in this fight. I'm picking Usyk. I don't think he should be the significant underdog that he is in this fight. But like I say, it's a dangerous fight for him. Obviously, one mistake in the heavyweight division, it could all be over. But I'm expecting Usyk to come out victorious in this fight. He's just got to be careful, come in with the right game plan, and stay switched on for 12 rounds, because he can't make the same mistake Lomachenko did and start too slowly, because he is a slow starter. If he starts too slow like Loma did against Lopez, then the fight, in my opinion, is going to be really hard to win, being that the fight's in the UK on an Eddie Hearn show. So that's how I see the fight going, guys. Let me know in the comment section below. I'm not writing Joshua off at all. I'm not underestimating Joshua. I just think Usyk and Tyson Fury styles are both kind of all wrong for Anthony Joshua. He still has a puncher's chance in these fights, so I'm not writing him off. And he has, a puncher's chance. He has a little bit more than a puncher's chance, because he's not just a brainless puncher. And like I said, he's got very good technical and fundamental skills, and he has a good boxing IQ, where you can see he's setting a lot of traps, and he's a beautiful counterpuncher as well. So definitely a dangerous fight for both men. I'm leaning towards Oleksandr Usyk in this fight. Let me know how you guys see it in the comment section below. Thanks for listening. Talk to you guys again soon. Cheers.